Howdy, Sportster Paul here. We're here with VisualMill Standalone package. We did 3 videos of the VisualMill for SolidWorks, where it's inside SolidWorks. This one installs by itself, and it's got its own drawing tools, and I've been having trouble with them, but we'll go through that. I hate to tell you, it's got the same bugs on my particular machine, just because it didn't install right. It had a failed Visual C++, because I had a newer version. So I said, we didn't do that. Maybe that's why I'm getting little goofy problems with it, same ones I was getting in the SolidWorks version. I got a crash. It did automatic feature recognition better than in SolidWorks. Found some stuff, I didn't go through it yet. But then it crashed when I tried to simulate it. So that was disappointing. It also had, let's see, what else did it do? Okay, it did a tool holder crash. That thing where if it has rough and finish and pocketing and you can remove a slider, it's really cool. Well, if the slider's all the way, I forget which way, I think either, it does a rapid down through the part and into the vise and through 3 feet down. So here's a picture of that, what was left after the simulator got done, and said, by the way, did you want to run the tool holder through the part? So that was kind of disappointing. But let's go look at it. It comes up, like this. FreeMill is this demo package. It doesn't do justice to how good this program is. It comes across real simplistic. I wouldn't mess with it. Watch these videos or watch other videos. You want to run the CAM demo. This is a demo program, so you're not allowed to save. I don't want premium. I think that's a $10,000. Professional's full 3D. I think it's $5,000. Then you re-hit the mill button, and up comes the standalone version. So you're not in SolidWorks anymore. Like in SolidWorks, you want this nice and wide, because then all of this stuff shows up. Like in SolidWorks, this is a button that does all this stuff down here, off, on. And in this button are tools and regions and features and K-based knowledge bases and stuff like that. I put it into turn. Oh my. Profile nest, mill. Okay, so we'll take that off. For opening, the benefit of the SolidWorks, both for SolidWorks for CAM by CamWorks and the VisualMill, it saves all the tool stuff, all of the G-code stuff. It saves it inside the SolidWorks part file, the SLDPRT, whatever. This one creates a new file. So that's configuration manager. Okay, is this the file I made from that version? So that's a major reason to kind of be thinking about getting something that works inside SolidWorks. You're just keeping straight of what machining part came from what design part. So here's where you go home. You say open. And here's a part. See, this has already been saved. VCP is their VisualMill whatever, VisualCAD part file. Here's all the things it imports. So I made this file by importing, I went in my SolidWorks, this Dave Rui's part, the one that he made to trick up CAM packages. I exported it as a SAT, as a SAT file. I exported it as a step, and I exported it as a Parasolid. And all of them exported, all of them loaded up, all of them came in here, all of them had the right units, miraculously, although I did have to change the VisualMill over from metric to inch. It started out life in metric. But we can just start with this part that I've already saved. Ask the same question. There's CAM preferences in here. It's like, no, I'm not sure what's going on there. I've already done some options. Here's options. This is the same ribbon style thing. You can disappear, you can make it appear. Some of the things I did were mostly dimensions. I went to 4 decimal places, all my machinist buddies like that. And then inches here. Here's where you specify inches. And when I'd already had the part opened as metric, that's where I noticed, oh, wait a minute, go here, find it. Nothing too crazy, right? All this is standard kind of headache, suffering with software stuff. You should always, when you import anything from anywhere, do some dimensions. That is dimensions here. I learned you can go top, and then you can do horizontal, vertical. This is all like older. This reminds me of the way AutoCAD 10 used to be. And then you can, because I went 4 decimal places, you get nice accurate. Yeah, this thing is true. It's accurate. You can see the stock here. You can ignore that. There's the model itself, right? To trip you up, what the middle button down mouse wheel does in SolidWorks, the right button makes it swoop around like this. And SolidWorks, you hold Control, middle button to pan. In VisualMill, you hold Shift and right button to pan. So programmers, I don't think there's been 2 programmers born in the history of humanity that have ever agreed on anything. So we'll just have to suffer with this kind of silliness. Here's the part. One of the things let's see, you can, since we're going to be drawing, I'm going to jump right into that aspect. Let's close this, which scares you. Oh, how do I get back? That is home, VisualMill, mill, poof, there it is again. That took a little figuring too. Oh, see, now it left that button one open, so close it twice. One of the things that I haven't quite figured out, I go here, I think down here is layers. And you can make it wide enough to read or whatever. What I like doing is pinning it, and then, oh gosh, did I pin it, unpin it, get it broken out, and now you can drag it somewhere. You can make it wider and longer, and I drag it off to a different monitor. Because you'll be using layers. This, like I say, it's going back a ways in the way AutoCAD used to work. Still does, I assume. I gave up on, I had 10 through 14, and that's when I decided no more Autodesk in my life. You know, I started using SolidWorks. So what are we doing? We're showing you some of the things we changed. I'll just start going through it. I'll get to the bug that I can't get around. I'll do that first rather than go in the order. Oh, we'll face it. We'll profile it. Well, maybe we'll get to that before it crashes because it has been crashing. It's this bottom pocket that caused the problem. Oh, that's what I was going to tell you. One of the ththings that bothers me. If it was just a right click, you move the part. And I have found no way to disable that. Control Z, put it back where it was. If you go lock, you can lock the layer. And okay, now, but here you can't select any edges to do any of the things you need to do. So to me, that's very dangerous. You know, if you accidentally click, double click, newbie like me, not a machinist, maybe it moves 1/10 of an inch and all the tool paths, half of the parts built one way, half of the parts built the other. I don't know why they're so anxious just to move stuff around with a simple left click. But that's going on. We're going to go do the sketch stuff. One of the key things, where is it? Curve modeling. I guess a line is a straight curve to these people because that's where all the draw stuff. And we want to get this shallow pocket, the one down here that does that, because that's the one where I had to, in SolidWorks, go and bridge across this breakout hole and bridge across this breakout hole so that the toolpath would be correct. It wouldn't bulge out for where that hole broke through. So the way I found to do that, could we turn that off? Yes. So the way I found to do that, it's here, I think it was create boundary from selected flat area. Not all, not a silhouette, not a surface, not a face edge, not section curves. Okay, I think it's this. Flat areas, you go there, and it's hard to see, like the corners didn't show, but it's got black. Now, one mistake is it put it up high. Or no, it didn't put it up high. This is something also you want to do. Let me think. I think it's modeling aids. C-plane, short for construction plane. You know, you're supposed to. Everybody's worked in CAD for 40 years and knows that, right? To face, go down here. Now it moved that construction plane down. That's just going to make things a little more convenient. It's not essential. But like if you're going to see as we start mirroring stuff, it'll go to that construction plane. So one of the things that was so clumsy about this, I learned modeling aids, say hide, pick it, say hide again, I don't know. And you can get the thing disappeared. Oh, here, let's do this. We don't need these. delete. We know the things came in the right size. So it selects, it's a continuous, like a polyline in AutoCAD or TurboCAD or SolidWorks. So the first thing you have to say in curve modeling, I'm going to be a little clumsy on this because, you know, this is all different than what I'm used to. Break, explode. And it does have right here, see right here, explode, pick curves to explode, hit right mouse button or enter when done. So that's kind of nice. Boom. So now it should let us do individual. See, now it lights up individual things. So this is the one we want to get rid of, delete. What I did is then I went immediately to extended this thinking it would extend to this line end. No, it extends to the corner here, leaves the line end, but doesn't make it clear that there's a little line segment there, and you spend a half an hour trying to find the open contour that it complains about. So you got to be sure to, you know, what it's doing to you. But then other stuff works really nice. You know, extend, bam, done. Now over here, it's a little uglier. What do we do? Shift, there. If you remember, well, you probably didn't watch that one, but you got to erase this, this, and this, okay? And now we go back to modeling aids, show, and, oh, wait a minute. Let's do something just to make life a little easier. Hide, hide. Let's go here. Let's get our layers. Let's go plus for a new layer. Of course, then make this shallow pocket. Let's make the color bright red. Sometimes it's a little easier to see. It's now active. And I think if you go here, you can go properties. A lot of ways to get to it. This is layer, shallow pocket. Now it turned red. Same thing, you can lock these. This is at least a little more convenient. You can lock this if you're worried about accidentally dragging this around a little. So we got that. Okay, life is good. Curve, modeling aids, show. I had a lot of trouble. I assume we're going to have a lot of trouble still. And see, this was designed, I don't know, for 386 computers or something, because you can't really see. You can't see. I can't point at it with the mouse because it lights this stuff. But right here, right, it's disappeared. That exists. That curve is still there. You just can't see it. That caused a lot of grief. So then, what was the thing I did? It was curve modeling. I think it was edge, something about edges. All flat areas. Extract curve from face edge. See, but a face, I think, is a flat thing. So it says extract curve, select face edges, and hit right mouse button. So I think we should be able to go here and here and hit right mouse button. And then, because you got to pick it, hide. It's done up here. I've learned it's actually, what do you do? Move. You can then, it'll snap here and snap here. This is, if you can find it, there. Now here's the headache. Here's the sorry, can't buy this if it acts like this. And it might just be because of my installation, because there's a Windows 7. Although look at this, look what they do. They're so stylish, and you can select the colors and the theme, if you will. Windows 7 is right in my comfort zone. I love it. So right here, you say, okay, we know how to do this, right? We've been there. Get modeling aids, show stuff so we can see the darn thing. If you're like me, you get lost. Okay, so here's where we at. This little curve that's up top, we want to end up down there. If we have to move it, that's all okay. We just want that curve. So I say, watch it work this time and embarrass me. Curve modeling. Create section curve. Extract curve from face edge. Let's see if this does it. Get up a little closer. See what it did? It's red now. Here, let's do this. No. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Stop. Ah, God. Am I still in some command? It never used to work like this. Stop. All right. Holding the shift key because everything's... It makes some mirrored, weird, and I have not figured out how to get a proper curve. Sorry. Now let's erase it. Let's hide our goofy... Hide here. Hide. I always end up doing it twice. And what I had to do, kludgy as it sounds, draw an arc, which of course is totally unacceptable. That's why, to me, this is a killer. Oh, where are we? Curve modeling. 3-point arc. It's got all the snaps down here. This I love, right? They use the status bar. They got some stuff to do down here. So these are the snaps. So that's all normal stuff. I can't get it to, behave the way I want. You got to be careful if you over snap it. We all know that problem, right? You get little line segments you have to trim. So I'm just going to try to guess right there. Trim. Hopefully I haven't left 2, right? That's the usual SolidWorks, AutoCAD, TurboCAD misery. Looks like they're not overlapped. So show all. Okay. There we go. Now, let's go turn on our... See, it's just, you get so confused. Show, here we go. And let's go back to, this is a lot of tedium, right? Just to get to the thing that took 2 seconds. No, it didn't take 2, it took 20 seconds in SolidWorks. What are we doing? Home, Visual Cam, Mill. Here we are. Turn off this bottom panel with this little button. We're in setup 1. Double click setup 1 to get the machine orientation. I want to put it in the vise like this. Fixed jaw in the back here, movable jaw in the front. That means my milling machine, the red arrow is supposed to point to the right. The green arrow is supposed to point to the back. I happen to know from lots of messing with this program, the z-axis is correct, so you say rotate about z twice, once, twice. Say generate. Now that's right. Yippee. You notice it also lit up the world coordinate system. Then you do work 0, and I got to bring it in so you see it. Oh, and then you won't get the drama if I do it that way. Set the stock box. Just where I want it. The back corner, that's where I'd put the edge finders and find the corner of the stock to start the machining. Say generate, great. The stock was a bit of a pain, just like in the, I think I disabled stock, right? It took a while. It's got that same bug where you can put the overall stock size. Let's see how we can do that. Box stock. It's wonderful compared to SolidWorks Cam because you can just type the overall stock dimensions, which you can order from Midwest Metals or one of the metal suppliers. But then it always puts it off on a corner, and you could use these things to relocate it. But the nice thing is you can say align stock. And what this has done is it's put the stock in, it's put the part in the center of the stock, which is great for X and Y, and then all you're allowed to Z is align it to the top, which made it flush to the top. You see right there? Not too cool. Let's cancel out of this. So you figure, I'll align it, then I'll go back to box stock and just move the part down 1/10 of an inch. Now it reverts back. Same trick as in SolidWorks. Save it. You're allowed to save it this far. If you don't put work 0, if you don't put anything in, you can save the part, which is what I did, and that's why it came up with the stock in the right spot. So back to draining the swamp. Okay, so let's see what we're going to do. We got our work 0. This might show an interesting problem. We want to pocket. It comes up with the let's get going thing. Select curved edge regions. I think you can just do this. No, I didn't get them all. It's like AutoCAD, which I've always loved. If you do that and it's a dash line, anything inside, right? If you just touch it, it'll select. If you're here and it's a solid, the thing has to be entirely enclosed. So let's do this. Apparently it's smart enough to not to do the model. Let's see if, oh, and then their whole thing is you right click. That's how when we were drawing. So you hit the right click. I think it found it all. It might be some open profile. All this might be for nothing. Cut parameters. We'll just leave this. Cut levels. The geometry that sketches at the bottom. This is the thing I love about this program. You can specify the depth. Works a little bit different, but right there. Next one, right there. 0.125. This is where it blows up. You can't leave it set to 0 here. Put it in the middle somewhere. For me, just me, with my old Windows 7 box and this installation that didn't go right because one of the Visual Cs didn't come in. I think I got a screenshot of that. All right, okay. So 625, that's good. Generate. Select tool before proceeding, of course. Edit tool. It defaults to a ball mill, one of the things that, minor annoyances. So you go here, pick a flat mill, make it 25. I used to go through a lot of stuff here. 1.3 is, it has to be at least that long. Tool should be stubby to be stiff. Shoulder length can be short, I think, and then speeds. I want 12,000 here. I know go 16. Why it fills in these weird numbers, 30, 15. You need a rounding algorithm. Okay. This is what burned me last time. Saying okay, it didn't create the tool. We got to do it all again. And I'm going to make you suffer just like I just did. Because this happened a couple times in the SolidWorks version, and it just annoys the living daylights out of me. Save as new tool is what you're supposed to hit. Why, well, it's suffering with software. True to the name of the program. 15. Is this stuff reasonable? No, the shoulder length, the tool length's way too long. The flute length's way too long. You really want to model this accurately because if the tool holder is going to clank, so you don't hit OK like I did, save as a new tool. Invalid tool definition. Oh, maybe because of shoulder length. Save as new tool. Invalid tool definition. This is a new problem. Save edits to tool. Algorithmic failure, cannot proceed. Okay, can we get out? Say create tool, make it a 1/4 of an inch. This is what I've been fighting. And, oh no, I did it again. And then of course it made it a ball mill because that's not what I wanted. Oh gosh, I get so frustrated. Hang on, we're still draining the swamp. Flat mill, 2/10, say okay, finally. Okay, so generate. It actually did pretty good. Now hold shift and the shift and the right button. Like in SolidWorks, oh, it's not even close enough to get, let's light this up. I like a little housekeeping. Shallow pocket. 1, 2, 3, bang, shallow pocket. Parameters, if you double click shallow pocket, it gives you the whole dialog box with all the stuff, with control geometry. If you just double click parameters, it gives you the parameters. And here is where we suffered. Well, first you can make it a 10,000th of an inch. You want this thing accurate. And you want advanced cut parameters to be 10,000ths of an inch. That's going to put a little radius in the corner here instead of a straight line segment. Cut levels, this gets changed automatically. I found it's best to generate it once. There. Let's hit it again. 0. Generate. It kind of bothers me that right click it, nothing. I don't know how I get stuck in things top. Maybe it's got some weird step over problems. I don't understand what's going on. Well, their way to find out how bad things just went is say simulate to end, compare, and you can see gouges and undercuts and all kinds of terrible stuff. So this is a new problem I've had. I am not sure why it's doing it. It's, oh, because we used a ball mill. That doesn't help, does it? Use the flat mill, say generate. All right. Good gosh, I'm having troubles. You can see what I've been going through for 2 days. Let's see. Usually it blows up at this time. No, it left stock. It's been putting a 1 here. It just can't seem to do it. Generate. Could not find valid data. All right. Close. Do you really run a cancel and close? Yes. I just crashed it. Look at this. It's regenerating and it still let me come up here. Cut parameters. Instead of 1, let's see if we can save this thing in the middle of a crash. 1.002 has always worked. Generate. Well, caught live. We're going on 26 minutes of suffering with this thing. Needless to say, because of that it can't throw an arc up onto, project an arc onto a surface without reversing it and making it goofy, I can't use it. I will. I hear the hard disk percolating. Let's do what we can do. Do you want to save them? Sure. Can't be saved. Well, all right. So what can I say? There are certain things I do like better. When I did get it to work, one of the many times I had to go through this, it actually was a little more accurate, where like the perimeter that was a yellow color or, off by more than 3/10,000, it was all green this time. I don't know how different the math can be in this one versus a different one, but not for me, right? Because of the configuration management problem, that you'll have a part file and this VCP file or whatever it is. Just too many chances to get confused. And what file, what did they make in the shop? Oh, was that file? Did you have a newer file? Oh, when was the date? If it's in the SolidWorks part file, you still got configuration management problems of what rev is it and who touched it and who checked it out. It was easier in the paper days. I'm old enough. There was a paper master vellum drawing. You checked it out and nobody else could mess with it because you had it, on your drafting table. Now, not so much. So that's my rant. Sorry, I'm a little frustrated I couldn't get this thing working right. We'll see you next time. Maybe we'll revisit this. I'll play with it a little more tonight and see if I can get a little more smooth with it. But I'm going to stick with some other package. Sorry. All right, bye now. May your cam journey be fun, more fun than mine. See you next time.